Welcome back to the third half of the program. Although the federal government has pegged the new price for petrol at 145 naira per litre, some marketers have continued to sell petrol above even that price. A visit to locations in Edo's Central Senatorial District revealed that some petroleum marketers were selling fuel for as high as 160 naira per litre in some petrol stations, while others adjusted their meters to each litre of the product by as much as 15%. The Petroleum Monitoring Committee sealed up the airing stations and ordered a refund of money to customers who discovered they'd been cheated.
Of investigations takes the Edo State Petroleum Monitoring Committee on a tour of filling stations outside Benin City, the Edo State capital. At this fuel station in Eho, just outside Benin City, the team discovers that the petrol station uses a meter that has been adjusted to defraud customers of 17% of the product every time 1 litre is bought. At Ekwoma, Irua, Ewoimi and Ubiaja, the situation is basically the same. The Petroleum Monitoring Committee had to make the marketers do a refund of the monies fraudulently collected from customers right on the spot.
Part of the sanctions we do is that we refund back the money so that it will act as a deterrent to other marketers. People with this new machine, they use key. They can use key to amend it. So if we find out that this key that is amending it, we give you 24 hours, you have done it, and you also go back. After the second time, we amend it ourselves and take the key away.
Some of the customers commended the committee for the work done.
If you continue like this, everybody know their right. Everybody go happy now. Not be saying I can't go finish, I can't change and the problem is that one.
Now there's already a problem in the country. You don't create more problems. 145 should be 145.
The customers, however, wonder whether these marketers will keep to the rules when the monitoring committee is not around.
As the commissioning of the Cross River State Garment Factory draws closer, the state government has concluded the screening exercise for would-be employees of that factory. At the exercise, attended by applicants from all the 18 local government areas of the state, the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Rosemary Archibong, reiterated the state governor's resolve to empower more women with jobs from the factory.
You are all welcome to the UJSWNS Stadium.
The exercise takes place simultaneously in Ikom, in the Central Senatorial District of Cross River State, Ogoja in the Northern Senatorial District, and at the UJSWNS Sports Stadium in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, for the Southern Senatorial District. Excited applicants carrying their documents gather to be screened for some level of literacy and agility. Addressing the crowd, the coordinator for the Southern Senatorial District and the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Rosemary Archibong, stressed Governor Ben Ayade's reasons for giving special consideration to women, especially widows.
His Excellency has said that 80% of the workforce for the garment factory, which is almost to be commissioned, must be women. And amongst the women, our governor has said that there are young widows that need to have something to do.
Some of the applicants share their excitement at the opportunity and the impact it would have on their families.
I'm very grateful to hear this exercise. They have done us well. Like some of us that we are widows. We don't know what to do. Our husband died and they left us with children. We don't have anything to do. So with this exercise, I believe it will help us to train our children and do some things good in our life.
When this factory finally takes off, 80% of the workers here would be women, who would in turn cater to the needs of their families.
Farmers in Benue State are optimistic that the 3.09% GDP growth in the agricultural sector, according to the data from the National Bureau of Statistics, will create wealth and increase production at the end of this year's farming season. This is because the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, Off-takers, food processing companies have agreed to work with local farmers in Guma local government area of the state. While the IFAD state coordinator speaks on the extension services and value chain program, the benefiting farmers believe that it'll increase earnings from their farm produce and encourage large-scale production. And finally, KOGI State Governor Yahaya Bello has promised to disburse the bailout funds to workers in the states, as well as implement the report and recommendations of the State Staff Screening Committee to the letter. Governor Bello said this when he met with members of the committee at the Government House in Lokoja, where he explained that the implementation of the final report will be done in sequence.
Governor Yahaya Bello is here to meet with members of the newly inaugurated screening committee. They've been given the mandate to confirm the actual size of the state's workforce and weed out ghost workers.
I pleaded that you should please be patient.
First, the governor must settle the impasse between members of the committee who represent Labour and the committee chairman before it gets out of hand. He tells the gathering about plans to promptly disburse the bailout fund of 20 billion naira meant for civil servants in the state.
We are accessing the bailout fund, and the bailout fund has started hitting our account already. Then I wouldn't want to keep the fund, so that I won't be accused of using government fund for whatever, anything, that anybody can or would want to abuse. You see, our people have suffered enough, the genuine workers.
The meeting then goes into a closed-door session, during which the disagreements were said to have been resolved.
Just a little misunderstanding, so we're able to understand each other's differences, then decided to set it aside. And we all came together, and then the whole thing is resolved.
The side of government protect the labor and protect the public. But labor, they have just their own interests to protect. And there is no way anywhere in the world that the labor standing is not always a policy against the policy of government. So, you see, they cannot always synergize with the idea of the progressive of government.
We observe certain area where if we continue, it will mar the results of the exercise. And therefore, we felt that the best thing to do is to raise an alarm over those observations. And His Excellency has resolved it and allayed the fears of labor.
With the perceived obstacle out of the way, it is expected that the committee completes its assignment in record time to pave way for the payment of salary arrears to genuine workers across KOGI State.
And that's it for this edition of News Across Nigeria, where we keep you informed on what's happening now across the Nigerian Federation. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for watching.